Hi, today you are at my house. My name is Donna Kaehler with Keep Blackstone Valley Beautiful. I am going to explain to you about recycling. We're going to go green, we're going to get recycling, understanding what goes in the recycle bin and what doesn't once and for all. We've had today in the year 2020, we still have a lot of big recycling problems. So today I want to bring that to your attention. We're going to figure out how we can make little changes to correct these problems. It's simple. Once you see them, you're going to be able to do it. So let's get started and figure out what we're doing right with recycling, what we're doing wrong, and how to fix that. So when I say the word recycling, I know what you're all thinking. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again. We've been recycling. We know what we're doing. Well, we have some, like I said, some quick changes we need to make what we are doing with recycling right. So, in a perfect world, this is what we would see in our recycle bin. This is good recyclables, items that are accepted. Now I'm going to have you look at my recycling bin for the week. Why I say it's perfect recycling, this would be what happens in a perfect world for recycling, is that I know what I've put in here are accepted recyclables. And I want to share that with you, so make sure what you put in your bin is accepted and are the proper recyclables. So I'm going to dump out my recycling. Do not judge me. It's what you see is what you get for the week. We have been having some fun and it's hot, but this is are what items are accepted in recycling. So as we look at what we can put in, I think everyone's pretty clear. We can recycle paper, glass, metal, plastics. Those are the materials. But what does that mean? So let's just take a quick look. I'm going to start you with paper. Paper's pretty easy. We have paper, cardboard, and cartons. That's all can be recycled. Simple enough. Magazines, newspapers, boxes. Please make sure that you flatten them. It saves so much room. And the really cool thing is that if the box is open like this, other items, non-paper items, could get stuck and then they can't be sorted. So we're going to flatten those. And I had a nice carton. A lot of times people forget about cartons, milk cartons, soup boxes, that kind of thing, cream, all this good stuff. Cartons are good. Bottles. Okay, well, we got a few bottles in my recycling. Again, we want bottles or jars only. So use your bottles. What do I have for bottles this week? I guess that's it. We've had some fun. Oh, I do have another bottle too. So only this kind of glass, pickle jars, pasta jars, glass bottles and jars only. Needs to be that shape. Now let's take a look at metal. What's good metal? We want metal cans, regular seltzer too, beer cans. We can take lids. I don't have any lids, but if you have a pickle jar lid, you guys know what a lid is. I don't need to show you that. I didn't have any pickles, I guess, this week. And aluminum foil. Aluminum foil is nice and simple. We want it in the shape of a ball. Just ball it up. In your recycling it goes. Then the last category is plastics. Plastics are a little tricky, so this is going to take a second. No big deal. You guys can understand this. I got faith in you. But we want container shapes only. Plastic containers that hold something. So, we want shampoo bottles, water bottles. We can do rotisserie chicken. Those are containers. We can do these little containers too. We need it to be a container so that the machines can figure out and sort properly with this. So these are all containers. You can do cheeses. So these are all good recyclables. These are items that are accepted, and only these 4 categories actually go in your curbside recycle. So now that you know what material goes into the recycle bin and what items should go in there, along comes our recycle truck and picks it up at your curb. on a weekly basis. Most municipalities have it weekly or every other week. Isn't this fun? These are the nice presents I get working in, being known as a trash lady in town, a recycling coordinator. I got a nice little recycle truck, so, but they would come take this. So where the heck does this stuff go? Let me show you. The truck brings us recyclables to one facility for the whole state of Rhode Island. All our towns, all the residents, a lot of commercial recycling goes to Rhode Island Resource Recovery in Johnston, to the Materials Recycle Center called the MRF. They take all this recycling and it's dumped on the floor, and then it has to be sorted. So basically there's so much volume that they use huge sorting equipment. It is not done bottle by bottle and this and that. It's gone through, it has to go up through on conveyor belts. So all these items come in, and then it's sorted. So it goes up the conveyor belt, boom, 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 and then it's sorted into these 4 categories and starts being sorted. It gets more complicated than that, but the basic is it's still getting sorted into these 4 categories. Actually, they even sort even further. They sort all different kinds of plastics into different categories. But the basic idea is it has to come up this and go. Glass would go here. The metal cans come up and they go in the metal line. Here we go with our plastic containers, and that would go over in the plastic. So it starts to separate so that we can sell these recyclables to the companies that want to buy plastic only, metal only. It can't be all together. So here comes the paper. Looks good, right? That's easy enough. Works great when we are doing perfect recycling, perfect sorting, what goes in here. Unfortunately, we're not doing perfect sorting at the house, and that's where we need you guys. Let's take a look at what we're really putting in our recycle bins, the things that we are and what we shouldn't be putting in. And once you see why we say don't put them in, it's going to make so much sense and it's going to be easy for you. So why I said we showed you what would happen with perfect recycling, reality recycling is a lot different. So we're going to show you what we see in our recycle bin. So take a look in my bin. This is more what we tend to see, and there's a lot of wrong things in here. So let's take a look at what people are putting in the recycle bin that are the wrong items, and this is what we can correct. Take a quick dumping all this out again so you can see. So we do get some things right still. People are really good with the paper. People understand metal cans, that's awesome. I think the cartons might be confusing, but now you're set on that. We got the milk jugs, all this good paper. Shampoo bottles, that's a good one. Don't forget the stuff in the bathroom. There's a lot of good recycling. Most of it's plastic and most of it's containers, so don't forget to add that to your recycling. We understand the aluminum, water bottles, people get that. The little containers, but what we end up finding so many more times is all this stuff. And what happens here is that these do not belong in the recycling. And there's a couple reasons why. So, people think all plastic goes in. Not a plastic container, dog toy, straws, too little. So we can't do this. So we don't want these items in. We want the container shapes. And I'll show you why. Once again, these small plastics things, remember they're going on a conveyor belt. They are too small to be sorted. So they're falling through and they're going to end up not being able to find their way on that plastic avenue that they need to take. Bottle caps, oh my gosh, too small, but can be recycled when you attach it to the bottle. Really cool plastic bottle cap on a plastic bottle. Same plastic is going to go in the plastic when it can hitch a ride on a bigger item. The little thing falls through, not going to be able to be recycled. Attach it to this. Remember, it's big enough to be sorted with the equipment at the MRF. Stays on top. We have, while we're on the topic of plastic, I'm going to show you the #1 plastic item that keeps getting put in that is not a container. Plastic bags. I don't know, maybe because people get confused and think that they hold something, it's a container, but it's not. This is considered plastic film. So what happens, sometimes too, to even confuse everyone, but now you're going to be smarter, it's not going to confuse you, they will have a Chasing Arrows label on it saying recycle. It can be recycled, not in your curbside bin. And the reason being is when that comes to the MRF, all this plastic is like a piece of paper. It's like a plastic wrap. It gets caught in all the equipment. It gets caught and it slows down the equipment. It stops it. They have to stop the whole line to clean it out. It starts fires. It's dangerous to the workers. So all this plastic wrap gets stuck in the equipment. Keep in mind, it's big wheels, big sharp prongs doing all this, sorting this material, moving it up the conveyor belt. Don't let the plastic bags, do not put those in. The other big problem, number one, as you drive around the street, I happen to notice recycle carts and bins, and you might now too. You're gonna always see these sticking out. The problem is, again, it's in a plastic bag, and what's happening is sometimes people put their recyclables in here, which is okay, but they're forgetting to take the recycling out of the bag. We have to remember, recycling has to be loose so that it can sort in the right conveyor belts. If it's all tied together, this was in here with the plastic, how are we going to get the metal can separate from the plastic container? So if you want to collect your recycling in this, what you got to do when you get to your recycle bin, cart, dumpster, whatever you're putting your recycling in, open them up, dump it out of a bag, and put this bag in the trash, or take it back to the grocery store for the plastic film recycling. Do not put it in here. Quick reminder, same thing goes with paper bags. You can collect your recyclables in. If that's how you collect it in your house, that's fine. Put all your recycling, boom, boom. Before you put it out the curb, dump it out. Quickly fold the paper bag. That can be recycled. It's all loose, can be sorted. Sorting that's the only way this items can be on the right avenues. What else we see a lot of times is this styrofoam. Styrofoam is not a plastic item. It does have a number 6, Chasing Arrows. Don't let that confuse you. This material we cannot recycle in our curbside recycle bin program. Do not put it in here. It just goes right in your trash. I should have a trash can to show you, but we'll use that for right now. And last but not least, while we're on plastic, a lot of people get confused with small plastic items. They say it's plastic. Guess what? Not a container. A lot of times we're seeing, silverware, all this stuff, pens. These do not go in the recycle bin. Not big enough to be sorted. It's going to fall through again, okay? Hopefully that makes that clear. And the last thing, a lot of times people will get confused with metal. We want metal cans only. These items are not able to be sorted with the way our machines are set up. It's called scrap metal. Again, gets all caught in. So it'd be like stuck in here, gonna jam that equipment, can have all sorts of problems. We don't want funny shaped items. A lot of times people put, say, toaster, oh, it's metal. Yes, can be recycled, not in this program. This is scrap metal, and I have a whole video on scrap metal. Not gonna get into that today, but so you can learn more, but not in this curbside bin. So, pretty much, I think you guys are all set. What goes in, why these items are accepted and why they're not. The last rule of thumb, when you are not sure. When you're looking at something and say, ooh, what is this about? Does this go in? We want you to ask. You can call me, go to keepblackstonevalleybeautiful.com. Love to chat with people. There's always new items too. It gets a little confusing. You can look online, but if you're unsure, never put it in your recycle bin. We want you to put it in the trash. More times than not, it doesn't belong in recycling. So if you're not unsure, ask or find out, and when in doubt, throw it out. With you helping do that, we are going to fix the two biggest problems that are going on in recycling in 2020. We can do this, but we need everyone to sort what they put out for curbside recycling pickup, and we can then take it from there. Thank you. So thank you all for listening about recycling. Special thanks to my great neighbor who came and helped me film, and guess what? She learned a few things, and she's got some wrong things in her recycle bin, so she's taking them out. So we're changing habits, and that's the good thing. Thanks again.